point where they were shoving me to faster speeds. At one point in the chase, there was an officer that
Hey,
was
Shell, we can hear you
ramming
back
my
here.
vehicle. That was ramming my vehicle and was trying to pit maneuver me at speeds of over 110 miles per hour while I was maintaining safe driving for the most part, apart from speed, obviously. This
I
speed,
understand.
this speed was continuously contributed to by the police ramming my car several times from the back, and I believed that I had to be in fear for my life. Including multiple times seeing a motorcycle officer throw himself in front of my car. And at one point, there was a vehicle I was driving, a semi truck with a side mounted fuel tank, and they continuously ran my fuel tank after I specifically told them the dangers of doing so. They were trying to disable the vehicle by putting a risk of explosion in. On top of that, throughout foot pursuit, I informed them many, many times that I have heart condition, and they continued to tase me several times. I believe I got about 10, 10 to 12 tasers today, if I'm not mistaken.
While I understand the egregious actions of the police department, we are not arguing that today. Instead, what we are arguing is the criminality
He just
of the
admitted
prosecution,
to
in
running.
which case they can prove the following: that you intently attempted to
Could have been
injure
getting resisted
or
arrest too.
lethally harm an individual who is a law enforcement officer and traveled in such a way in a motor vehicle
Go life.
that would be considered dangerous and life-threatening to the citizens of Lucid City.
Well, Your Honor, at this point, I would like to say that my driving is only reflective of my fear for my life, in that the police were driving, I would say, twice as, if not more, recklessly in order to, run me off the road, essentially. I was fleeing for.
Very well. We'll take that into account. Thank you.
I have
Got
not
someone
done
attempting
anything
to
to swing a
lockpick
fist
the Crown
today. I
Vic.
am not a man of weapons. I was arrested with a
No,
knife on my
I'm
person,
not
and if
picking.
I'm being completely honest, I must have picked it up from a dumpster or something because I don't carry a knife.
Oh, he's
But I at
lockpicking
no
it.
point used a weapon on anyone. Not
You
even
there?
in the vehicular.
83% of all deaths in America are contributed to heart disease and vehicle accidents combined. These seem like there is a story to tell for this particular incident. I am intrigued. Thank you. You may release yourself from the bench with the police officer's permission.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please understand, I will allow you to cross-examine witnesses and ask them questions. But understand, if you refrain from the principles of a courtroom, I will object and stop you, and even prevent you from asking questions if you continue. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well.
Right.
Will the arresting officer please approach the stand?
Thanks, Hawkins.
Please raise your right hand. That is your left hand.
Correct.
Please state your name for the record.
Jesse Kinkman.
Could you speak louder?
Jesse Kinkman.
Very well. Jesse Kinkman, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? So help you. Inanimate object in the sky.
I agree.
Very well. You may put your hand down. Could you please tell me from your perspective, the recollection of the events that transpired today with the defendant.
Yes, sir. We have the defendant witnessed fleeing from police, both going in oncoming and ongoing traffic, endangering not only locals but
If I
citizens as
may,
well. Yes,
could you please start from the beginning? When did you first interact this individual?
absolutely. Whenever I went on duty, there was a brief can't think of the word. There's a brief interaction with Mr. Chow, ramming an individual's
Motherfucker don't
car,
even know my name.
and then
A detainment.
yes, no, at this point he was in his own car. It was Mr. J. It was Jay. He continues to call himself Chow, so I apologize about the name. He proceeded to run up on the curb and then flee away from peace officers at this point as we try to stop him to talk to him to ask him what he is doing. This point, we do not have body cam footage of this, so I am not giving him the charge for that specific instance at this time. He then proceeded to flee from officers countless times, and then we did catch up with him at a later point, at which I had joined our chase against him, going around downtown, around Benny's and so forth, and he continued to evade police by going into oncoming and ongoing traffic, at which he stopped by the bank at Postal 206 and proceeded to talk to somebody. I have body cam footage of the chase up from beyond that point and up to that point. Then you can hear Mr. J's voice from the car, and you can see him talking to the individual at the bank. And then he had two avenues to exit from where his position was, as police then tried to box him in so that way we could subdue him and question him further. He then chose the path that myself was standing at and proceeded to run me over, which again I have on body cam. He then continued to recklessly leave from that scene as I hobbled over to my cruiser and then continued to chase him down into the canals. At which point he wrecked his vehicle whenever we got approval of a pit maneuver, and wrecked his vehicle into a antenna pole, and then got out of it, which we can clearly see on body cam that it is the individual standing behind me, and then continued to run away from police.
Very well. Have you established intent for him to attempt to kill you?
Correct, because there was two avenues for Mr. J to leave. There was a left-hand turn and a right-hand turn. Mr. J decided to take a right-hand turn, which is where I was standing at the time, and in my body cam footage that you can clearly see the two avenues for him to exit from. And he decided to take the avenue that I was standing in, and then proceeded to hit me and continue to drive away.
I see. Excuse me, defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Jay Snoogans.
Jay Slugans. Do you have access to the judicial emails?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please join the courtroom.
You got it, Your Honor.
Stand by. During deliberations, you are allowed to show the body cam and stop it at key points to be able to explain the defendant's intent or try to justify the defendant's intent. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
We will only play it once, so please be conservative with your stops and understand that we will not go back and resume watching the individual on your body cam. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Very well. You may proceed with sharing your body cam. Before you play this, under
Yes, sir.
penalty of perjury, can you verify that the body cam is untampered with and has not left your possession?
Yes, sir. This is still in a raw body cam footage with no editing or upload proceeded at this point. I wanted to make sure that this was completely uncut and unfiltered at this time.
Very well.
Please let me know whenever you would like me to press play.
You may proceed.
Continuing now onto West 1 Carcer Way, it's going to be 520 for postal.
Whoa.
Assisting where I can. Go shopping with Tesco.
Southbound Palomino Avenue, 369 for postal. Your right-hand turn. Right-hand turn, we're going to be northeast Ginger Street.
I would like to go ahead and pause here and say that the two individuals that were stopped here, we are not going to attempt to identify neither the individuals or why he stopped, but
Yo,
we did notice him
Knucklehead GTV,
proceed to
thank you for
stop
the
at that
follow.
intersection and conversate with them and then continue on. But I do want to say that we will not be pursuing these two individuals.
359 for postal. Taking a left-hand turn onto westbound Vespucci Boulevard. 357 for postal. Making another left. We're going to be southeastbound Vespucci Boulevard. 357 for postal. The southeastbound South Rockford Drive. 363 for postal. Not past that. Your left and then a right, so we're going to be on southbound Mutiny Road. 387 for postal. Take a bit off road.
I do want to go ahead and pause here as well. The defendant was observed going into oncoming traffic after going over a off-road ramp per se, and then continued into ongoing traffic.
It'll be eastbound Davis Avenue. 88 for postal. Northeastbound Strawberry Avenue, it's going to be 128 for postal. Yeah, left-hand turn near Legion Square, Fleeca Bank.
I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. This is when the defendant stopped against the bank at the postal that I described earlier, and then continued to speak with the individual that is standing outside of it. And from here on, you will see the two avenues which he was able to go out of. And then he chose the one where I myself was instructed by my superior to go ahead and get out and attempt to put him in cuffs. and then continued on with him hitting me with his vehicle, and then proceeding through the avenue that I was standing in.
He is pulling over.
Is that Mr. Brandon?
That Mr. Joe?
Hey, Mr. Brandon, what you doing? Hey, it's good to see you. Hey,
Again, this is, I would like to pause it one more time because he was positively identified by the individual standing on the corner of the street, and he responded to him with the name that he has been consistently giving to the court until he was then fingerprinted and identified by peace officers.
man, I got to go, man. These cops are crazy. Oh, shit.
Boggle, 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 boggle.
Hey, man, I'll see you later, bro.
Kingsman, get out. Stop him, Kingsman.
Now, if you would like to see here, there's two avenues for him to go out of. One is going to be to the right hand between myself and Officer Foxy's car. And then the other option is going to be to the left with the bigger avenue for him to leave at any point.
Oh, shit, my nuts. Gotta go.
If we can go ahead and observe the right-hand side of my body cam, we can see that the individual has then resisted the arrest of my cuffs against him and is then running away from us, which he will be returning to his car at this point and then proceeding to run me over. Get him, get him, get him, get him, man!
What the fuck? No one knows how to... What don't know what to do?
Get an officer.
Hey, hold on. Coastal Davenport to Lieutenant Davenport.
At this point, he then proceeded to go out of the right exit instead of the left, which he had more opportunity to not hit a officer at this time, but he then proceeded to run me over.
Go ahead. And all the officers, can you go ahead and hit him under 80? 10-4? Or no? Would you say he did what?
He hit an
over
officer.
King, come in, straight ahead. Can we go ahead and hit over 80? Under 80?
I do apologize for the multiple pauses, but you can hear over the radio multiple corporals of law enforcement did request to authorize pits underneath a specific mile per hour, so that way we can stop the individual because he at this point did hit an officer of law.
10-4,
Wait, was it purposely or?
Yeah, it was for, he was only one way he can go out and he ran him over. Kingsman, pass me on my left slowly. Do not ram him, but hit him under 80. His car's already smoking, so when he takes turns, go ahead and hit him, okay?
10-4, this is the Kingsman is Hawkins. Oh, go.
Yeah, I'm in the back right now.
There's only one way out of here. I'll stay secondary. When he takes turns, just give him a love tap behind him. Should be out. Like right now should be good, we're at 60.
Again, I want to pause one more time. I did have a superior officer say that the speeds that we were going at was authorized at this time.
You know?
Don't hit me.
I'm sorry. Sorry again.
Payback.
You go, you can box him or give him a love tap over there. Yeah, okay.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's done it.
He's smoking, he's smoking.
Good.
Shit, Mr. Trump on after self-represent something fierce. Oh my god!
Easy.
He's done. Oh, he's nice. So he's still going?
Why they trying to kill me?
Remember, relax. Relax. That's it. Relax. You're going backwards.
Woo!
You're in the fight off it.
What the fuck? Everybody tried to kill Mr. Chu!
He's out, he's out, he's out! That is going to conclude my body cam footage of the incidents. As we could see at the end there, Mr. J was then observed leaving his vehicle and then continuing a foot pursuit with the LCPD. At this time, I believe that I have sufficient evidence of not only reckless evading, but also the attempt of murder from a government employee, because he had two avenues to be able to exit from, and he chose the one where the officer was standing in front of him, and he then continued to run him over and then continue on his pursuit.
Very well. We will proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may approach the bench and question. If you would like.
What the fuck? Well, hold on. Just occurred to me what was going wrong. Thank you, Your Honor. Got confused as to where these voices were coming from.
Please stand here.
Yeah, sound good.
Face the prosecution. You may ask the questions. Thank you.
So, well, I don't want to say out of curiosity. At what point today did you feel that your life was in immediate danger? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yes, of course.
Is he speaking or?
I don't think so.
He may be focused on the emails right now.
Officer Kinkman. You are
Yes, sir.
in the court.
One more time.
You are being addressed in the court.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. At what point during the incidents today did you feel that your life was in immediate danger?
At which point you then hit me with your vehicle, which was shown from body cam,
Okay.
and then because again you did have two avenues to be able to leave the incident at the bank. Avenue that myself was standing in instead of the bigger opening, and then continued on.
Was this the first time today you were struck by a vehicle of mine?
At this point, this is correct. And I think that one incident where you are being struck by a vehicle is sufficient enough to be um, in danger of your own life.
Well, on the contrary, I hate to potentially incriminate myself here, but in order to prove my point, I have to. I want to say about an hour prior to that incident, were you not struck by my vehicle outside of what is that, a VPD?
So anything that I have with a physical body cam evidence, that is what I am charging with. So what I have to be able to prove to the court today is going to be what I will be charging you with. Instead of 2 counts, it is just 1 count.
Well,
So
the
if it is
consistency is pertinent to the point I'm trying to prove here.
consistency is absolutely key, but also being able to prove incidents is going to be even better for a situation with the court itself.
What
And
I'm
I have
asking you is under the oath you have taken, that we have both taken here,
mhm,
under threat of perjury, all that.
mhm.
Today, we have had multiple instances where you have been struck by my vehicle, regardless of what is being questioned
Bruh,
with
what?
regards to the charges.
So I cannot recall the original time that you are proceeding to elaborate with. The first incident of you being able to strike me with my vehicle, I can recall the what you say the second time, if there was a first time,
He's
and that
fucking
is what I
himself at
do
this
have
point.
with my body cam that was
That's what
recorded
he's
at the
doing.
time. So that is what I, and again,
Not to
this
mention his
was
opening
a
statement, he admitted guilt to
vehicle
everything.
exit from my superior, and at which you will be able to not only hear but also see that being able to be put forward with my from me obeying my superiors and attempting to subdue you so that way we can further question and take you down to the police station. So
Okay.
I believe what he is trying to ask is, was there an event where he struck you with a vehicle
You should have,
prior to
absolutely.
his engagement with you?
This is something that I do not necessarily recall. I do not recall getting struck by his vehicle prior, and I do not have the body cam footage to uphold that as well. So that is why I am only charging with 1 count of attempted instead of 2 counts, because if there was another incident that I could prove with body cam and recall myself, then I would put 2 counts
just
on
needs
it.
to say yes or no. I don't know what he's doing.
So
Very well. Your Honor, if I may, to elaborate further on my point, I'd like to share a small detail of today's events.
Very well.
In
You may not
regards,
testify as a
Go ahead.
questioner during court proceedings. However, if you are a witness, you can be a witness to yourself, in which case you can ask the question if you are put on stand to be able to be questioned as a witness. If you would like this question asked, you must be a witness. Do you understand?
Okay.
You cannot testify as a questioner. Do you
This
understand?
was more to. I apologize, Your Honor. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna call you in to
That
help
is
him.
all.
So, I'll continue questioning then, if that's okay.
Please phrase your statements in the form of questions, in which case
Nope.
the police officer may answer.
Very well.
I will do this, however.
So, it strikes my mind as curious.
Oh,
Is it
97,
that you
latest
decided
1013.
in that instance you have said your life was in danger?
Objection. He can't. He doesn't know what officers decide.
That's what I'm questioning.
Please do not interrupt the questioning. Proceed.
Wait, what?
So,
It's an objection. What?
Yeah.
in the moment you are referring to
Okay.
as when you felt that your life was in danger. What I want to ask would possess you to run in front of a moving vehicle?
what possessed me to run in front of a moving vehicle was not me running in front of a moving vehicle, but to attempt to put you in cuffs, which at that point you then proceeded to hit me with your vehicle as I was returning to my cruiser. And you continued to go down the avenue that I myself was standing in instead of the avenue that was open with no officers.
But during the who tased me through was moving and I was in the driver's seat.
Negative. I do not agree. You were not in your vehicle at that time. You were tased by Officer Ethan Davenport and then taken out of. And then you struck me.
Your Honor, if I may, I recall the body cam showing something slightly different.
I am more
If I may
happy.
proceed,
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
I require organic matter.
As do I.
Does anyone have organic matter?
I do not.
I do.
Officer. Proceed.
So as I was saying, Your Honor, I recall the body cam showing something different. In that during the incident, after I was attempted to be cuffed and resisted arrest, I recall, for layman's terms, juking this officer here as well as a couple,
Juking.
climbing into my vehicle, getting it started, and attempting to back up while this officer was crossing the front of my vehicle. Is this not what happened due to your per your recollection?
My recollection is private.
No, I'm
I will
sorry.
not give you my recollection.
I'm sorry, I meant this officer. I apologize.
If you are referring to the body cam footage that I proceeded to show within court, if you that instance that we had, whenever I attempted to cuff you, as you proceed into your vehicle, I was observed retreating back to my vehicle, again, which you had two avenues, one left and one right, between two police vehicles, and then one to the left, which is one police vehicle and an open avenue. On the body cam footage, I am then proceeding to run backwards to my vehicle, at which you decided to go that way and then strike me with your vehicle.
But in the body cam footage, you were running across the front of my vehicle with your taser aimed at the driver's windshield. Is this not correct?
Not at the point where you struck me. That is incorrect. I simply pointed my taser at you whenever I attempted to put you in cuffs, and then we continued forward. I am happy to show you the body cam footage once more if you need that specific instance, and I can show you where I did not point my taser at you through the windshield of your car in front of you. I was proceeding backwards to my vehicle at which you struck me.
Your Honor, are we able to review that segment of the body cam again?
Negative. No.
Very well.
So that is my recollection, is that I was then proceeding backwards towards my vehicle, at which I did stop on the body cam footage and specifically show where that incident happened. And then from there, I was struck by Mr. J's vehicle
Probably
onto
night
the
team
ground,
at
and
latest
then my
1013's at code
superiors
4.
also
We're
observed
running
this
day
as well,
casings anywhere either.
and then stated over the radio that he hit me with his vehicle and then proceeded to request pit maneuvers due to the severity of the situation.
Very well. So, in further questioning here, I'd like to ask, what, if I may, again, this is I have not represented myself in quite some time. I'll have you understand. If I may, I'd like to ask, what exactly is it that constitutes as a pit maneuver?
What a pit maneuver is going to be an attempt against the vehicle to adjacent it to a 90-degree angle, so that way we can subdue the vehicle into either a platform or on the road itself, to potentially be able to stop the vehicle, at which point we can take the individual out and then put him into cuffs.
Prevention technique.
So the aim of a pit maneuver, if I'm understanding correctly, is to institute a 90-degree angle or a debilitating turn that allows you to disable the vehicle and apprehend the suspect. Is this correct?
This is correct.
So, at what point during this chase that you've shown the evidence for,
Multiple times.
did it become necessary to continuously ram the vehicle I was in at high speed, including off of high surfaces, potentially rolling my vehicle and putting my life into danger?
Objection relevance?
I will abstain this.
Yeah.
What's abstain?
That you may not change your line of questioning, because I do not see the relevance of this
There we
situation
go.
pertaining to the prosecution of the events. The totality of the circumstances that you argue particular points of the charges that are made against you,
What up,
which
Jamo?
are attempted murder of a government official and reckless evading. Please
Hey,
proceed with your
Honor.
questioning.
Apologies. Thank you. You know,
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. This guy's been running from us all day.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Finally got caught. Decided he wanted a lawyer.
Do as you will. But we all saw the body cam. I can speak here on an accusation. I mean, kind of already screwed anyways if these guys win. Did this all
Do you have any
fall
further
into-
questions?
I guess not.
Please step down from the stand.
The dude's
and
fucking
approach.
himself and representing himself.
Officers, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, I would.
You are not the officer, you are the witness.
You are correct. I apologize for my
Borriello, do you want to? Because I don't have any questions.
Officer Borriello and Rodman, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
I don't have any questions for the witness, Your Honor.
Very well. We will proceed. Stand by. Officer Borriello, you were about to say something.
Excuse me. I need to take a drink first.
Your Honor, would you mind if I ate a bunch of fries right now in the courtroom? I do not want to be rude.
You may.
No, I don't have any question.
Very well. You may step down from the stand.
Thank you.
Please stand by. I will take up to 1, 2, 3 minutes to adjourn the court and give my verdict. Please stand by.
You're welcome, King.
Mad Boring, that's actually why I stepped down. Yeah, I know, man.
Appreciate it.
I was going. I was like, okay.
I know. I'm ready to get this over so I can go my crim character.
Just gotta, when you're in court, you gotta think about, like, he wasn't talking about his charges at that point. He was just saying, he was talking about you framing his car. Not really relevant, you know.
Yeah.
If it was relevant to him, if considering him reckless evading or running you, reasoning for the pit, I don't know, maybe like, but still, it's like,
Yeah, I need to get a little bit more
Fuck, I hear footsteps.
sounds like
Oh.
yours.
Okay.
No, I need to get a little bit more versed in what is, you know, relevant in a courtroom, but yeah, I was just ready to argue anything at this point.
Damn, I like the fit. Kind of matching.
Hawkins, how was that? Was that good? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
What'd he lie about?
Oh, it's just you now?
Yeah, it's just me out there.
We can go up, we'll be like Dumb and Dumber, you know what I'm saying? Why are you so fucking tall? Get the fuck down here. I feel so subconscious. Oh, perfect.
I need to have my shoes on the court.
Excuse me, miss, can you make sure you keep your shoes on in the court of law?
You're just a fucking giraffe.
He literally fired a shot right before he got hit.
It's kind of intimidating, but I don't want to.
You could always subpoena the body camera footage and bring it to court at a later date.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but we don't know what his
Okay.
fetish is.
Oh, Mr. Chew's stomach hurt.
Oh no.
I have reached a verdict. Stand by.
I do have food.
I have one
Here, give me a real
donut.
quick.
Here,
Give me the donut.
I got it.
That's on the ground too.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Yeah.
What has happened to this individual?
Man, they never gave me food at the police department.
Your Honor, to be fair, he was asked if he needed, at which point he did say no.
I call bullshit.
Very well.
I asked for
Please
food
give
on the
this
way
individual
here.
organic matter
Yeah, I'm trying to
and water.
feed him a donut right now. And then I'll take him to Mount Zona, get him some... I'll get him to Mount Zona after this and get him some fluids, and then I'll send him off.
Conditional on the
I pass out just
attribute
before.
if I find him guilty.
Repeat that?
Conditional on the fact if I find him guilty.
Conditional.
Yes.
Very well. On the account of attempted murder of a government official, I find you not guilty.
Ayo.
However, I find you guilty of assault and battery with a deadly weapon. I do not believe that the officers, beyond a reasonable doubt, proved the intent to kill the officer, as his primary intent was to evade. During
That
my
fucking
observations,
emote. Oh my
I
god.
also believe that the individual was not reckless evading, as he
What?
attempted, in many occasions, to stay within lane. However, it is evading nonetheless,
Oh god, what are you
just
about
not
to do?
reckless. I find you not guilty
This guy was
of
off-road.
reckless evading. These are the charges that I do find you guilty of. I find you guilty of disobeying a police officer. Police officer gives you commands. You must obey them,
Okay.
regardless if they have probable cause or not. It is not the place to debate probable cause on the roadside. That is what a courtroom is for. Secondly, I find you guilty of assault and battery with a deadly weapon, as I do believe that you assaulted the police officer with your vehicle, which could be considered a deadly weapon.
True, true.
And lastly, I find you guilty of evading. Well, I do believe that it wasn't reckless in nature, as you made many attempts to be able to stay in your lane, and you did not veer off the path and drive on sidewalks. Due to my observation, I do find you guilty of evading. This is my final verdict. Please amend the charges.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. I will continue to rewrite a new report with the final charges that are found
But-
guilty.
But, Your Honor, there was piece of evidence that was not used in trial. Mr. Chu, not even American citizen.
If you are on American land, you adhere to American law. Regardless of your citizenship, you are not given diplomatic immunity, unless you are claiming diplomatic immunity.
You issued charge to Jay Snogan. That not me.
You're gonna fucking confuse
Have you
the
properly
bot.
identified this individual?
Yes, sir. We fingerprinted the individual within the cells, at which point he then came back as a J. Snuggins.
Your file system easy to maneuver.
Sir, if you have gone through a name change, it has not been identified by the court, as well as updated within our data bank. At
It's
which
not
we
the
can,
name change. Turn me to so I can slam hand on desk. It's a identity theft.
You're admitting to identity theft?
Free Mr. Chu.
You're admitting to identity theft in front of a judge? So that
You can't arrest me. Well, I mean, you can, but I demand the right to Chinese law.
I can't tell if it's
I demand the right to Chinese law. Call the embassy.
What?
Your Honor, I'll let you deal with that.
Foxy, what do you?
Disregard that.
Are you okay?
Well, for now, you'll be good to his charges, and you could
Call the embassy.
I can't tell.
The embassy. I'm fucking weak.
Charges might apply to me, but you're not going to get the Mr. Chu. You get the J. Slogans.
Sir, so you are positively
Trial
identifying
by combat.
as
That'd be fucking great.
Stealing an identity of a J. Snuggins, then, I presume?
It's a crazy because I think of that what's that cop right there with the bun?
Huh?
Excuse me?
He never find the body.
The what?
So should we
It
go
was
You been
ahead?
into killing someone? No.
It was not a mushu chicken.
Should we go ahead and give
Oh,
him
God.
charges
It was a
for
mushu snoogans.
stolen identity as well as attempted murder?
How you going to charge Jay Snoogans? He's not alive anymore.
You want to show us
What?
where you?
Your Honor, would you like for me to go ahead and process stolen identity
So,
as well as
Desecration of
identity
a
theft.
human corpse?
identity theft?
I believe I pressed not guilty on attempted murder.
Mr. Chu.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess that-
evading, disobeying a peace officer, and
Right, that was against a government employee,
Assault with
but
the
he just
deadly.
admitted to murdering a Jay Snoogans and then stealing his identity.
Mr. Chu demand right to trial by combat.
Desecration
Oh,
of a
God.
human corpse.
Yeah, okay, all right. We'll just deal with the charges we have at hand. Okay, Mr. Snoogans, if that is your name, but
It's
that is
not
what
my
you're
name.
is what you are being identified as at this point. Is you are fingerprinted as such. You are going to be charged with disobeying a peace officer,
Mr. Chu
Assault.
have Chinese hacker spoof system.
assault with a deadly weapon, and evading. Your fine is going to be $4,000, and your sentence is going to be 55 months.
Damn, Mr. Chu get away with murder.
Your Honor, could we go ahead and charge him with murder at this point?
double jeopardy.
I feel like
That's
this
not
is a
what double
double-edged
jeopardy
blade.
is.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wait, you're
God.
right.
Mr. Chu invent
There
double
has
jeopardy.
been someone sitting outside the courtroom,
All right, we could.
wondering about Mr. Chu or Snoogan's case.
What's his name?
Hell if I know, let me check.
Trial by combat. Hawkins has to fight for Chew. Oh, fuck no. That dude whooped the fuck out of me.
This work.
Hopefully we'll see you around. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a good guy.
Hmm.
Hey, Hawkins.
What's going on, Brandon?
Not much, you know, just talking to your officer.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing here?
Well, you texted me about Mr. Chu case.
Mm-hmm.
Look out, the judge is running with a flare.
So, you know, I just
What?
wanted to check on
What?
him.
The judge has a flare.
Where?
You want to go to?
Mr. Chu going to call Chinese
Where
embassy.
does the judge have a flare at?
Have whole Chinese
Alright, you had
Kill him?
questions that... Kill who?
He requested liquid,
Joe.
and then I said I had a flare, and he wanted
he
that.
was taking a nap. Anyways, you had questions,
Oh.
man?
I'm not surprised, actually. It's Mr. Chu, of course.
Yeah, Mr. Chu going to prison.
Ah, shit, how long?
55 months, if I'm not mistaken?
Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah, he also admitted to murdering a Jay... Hold on one second. Jay Snoogans? No, we let him
I
off for
don't
that
care
part.
if you request it.
Nice.
He said, Judge, what am I supposed to say?
But
No.
other than that,
Yeah, that's typically
yeah, I'll
what
text
you
you
say
here in
is
just a
no.
minute, okay?
You really think what happened?
The judge requested a flare. He gave him a flare.
Where's my car?
Oh, flare. Oh.
You can say no, like.
Where's your car?
I don't feel like... He just said Kinkman smells.
Wait, the judge said Kinkman smells?
What happened?
My car is
Yes, he
fucking
said that in the
busted,
email.
bro.
It's what?
My fucking car is busted and fucking...
We're still in the courtroom.
Just
in the emails,
goddamn
and he said
take me to fucking the VPD so I can fly out.
Okay.
God damn it.
I'm ready to get on my Grim character. What a fucking day, dude.
Dude, what the fuck? Now I gotta write this report and then fly out. Because I have work in my head in like 6 hours. 5 hours.
Nah, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't even sleep and I go to work.
Fantastic. That's what I want to hear.
You gotta think, I do this stuff in the city and out of the city too, so.
Oh my god. You are a brave soul. I'm ready to go to court for anybody now, dude. After that time? Well,
I don't know, I feel like y'all should have given him the trial by combat.
I think we should too. I would have beat him.
It'd been great.
Jesse DeBarello, you have him at MZ, correct?
Brother 72, 1042.
Good night.
Alright. Now that we got that over with, fucking end this for now. I'm going on my crim character and do some scummy shit. See y'all later.